provided, but you can have documents having embeddings and stuff. And then you can also do matches on the sparse vectors. So you
Okay.
could be able to have some sort of metric distance that might be any cosine distance or something, or some custom that you could provide. And this is something that you can achieve. Once, I would say, in document array, you know how it works, then you can build this into a Jina pipeline.
Okay.
This is
And
the little thing I would recommend.
and the other thing is, if I saw the Wikipedia example where you can break down sentences to find a match. If I have, let's say, a list of 20 ingredients in a recipe, how would I break those down so that the actual match between embeddings works, as opposed to one big blob of ingredients all in one shot? Like, is there a way to kind of, as part of the embedding, to get arrays into columns that get broken down automatically, or do I need to pre-manipulate the information? Like, what's the recommended approach for the embeddings?
So that is really up to the user and the use case. So I don't know. I don't have much experience here, but it depends. So document itself is a structure that can hold documents, so you can support any pattern.
So
So
you would break those down into sub documents for.
depending, I mean, I guess as in data science in this kind of stuff, the question, there is not so much right or wrong, I would say. You know,
It's trial and error, I guess.
I would try the easiest thing, get the understanding, and then go for the next step.
Okay.
But I think that for this kind of stuff, you would enjoy working with Docker array and documents first.
Okay. Thanks.
But actually, I think recommendation is something that we wanted to look at, but to build a meaningful example of recommendation, there are not so good data sets for
Yeah.
the user embedding interaction. And also to build such a dummy thing that nobody would see the value, it's hard. But I think
Yeah.
with a nice data set and models, you can do some this matrix factorization study as a user item embedding match.
So I'm at that point where I'm just getting the data set together so that I can actually do something that makes sense, and I'll keep you posted on progress.
Thank you.
The fun bit, gathering and massaging that data.
Yep. 80% of the work.
Oh, wow. We've got like 25 people now. Nice. All right. Thanks, Vincent. Does anyone else have any support questions or anything they want to ask?
Yeah, I would like to ask a question.
Oh, hey, Jan. Good to see you again.
Thank you. I was trying to, well, my use case is to run something with an auto-suggest, basically. I was trying like to run the demo of the lyrics that you had that was running on, I think, 2.64. And then I was trying to upgrade it to Jina 3 because I wanted also the Dogger compose and other stuff. And it somehow, you know, it got broken and stuff didn't work for me. So I kind of, you know, tried like from different boxes from the hub. So right now I'm trying like the torch encoder plus the NHNSW Postgres indexer. So I was able to make the Postgres get all the data inside with the vectors and embeddings and everything. But when I do the search, I do not get a score for some reason. So I'm getting just the matches, but all this, the other data is not coming. So I was trying to look at the code, and I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's somehow overridden in the code over there. Can try to share the link here. 1 second.
That sounds definitely as a bug from us.
Us? Bugs? We don't have any bugs. Don't be silly.
No, no bugs. It's a feature.
Okay, cool. All right, we've got the code.
So I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think on line 339, I think it's kind of, you know,
Well, let's show the screen so we
overriding
can
it.
all see what's happening here. We can share the buggy code with the world. Which window is it? This one? Okay, you're saying line 339.
Yeah, I think like after it gets the data from the database. So at first it's doing the comparison on the vector, the similarity, and then it brings the data from the database. And I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think on this line it's kind of overriding the doc data and then also the scores. But again, I'm not sure.
We should, I mean, I think the best way would be to raise an issue in that repo, and I think we would be really happy to look into it.
Yeah. So then I was
But
trying another
because you
example.
say that the score is not coming, but the matches come.
Yeah. Exactly.
So raise an issue there. You take a look.
So then I was also trying this example that you sent yesterday. And again, I think it's kind of the same happening there. I didn't take a look at the code to see if it's the same behavior, but I'm getting in the end result no scores.
Okay.
Let me share this thing again.
It could be with refactoring, with bumping to 3.0, we might have missed out here.
So you share this example. Try to take the part of the code to make it fit to my use case, and kind of the same.
Yeah, that's my example.
And there are no scores here also.
So just be aware, I did a whole load of refactoring on this just today. So this version is just a few hours old. I yanked out a lot of stuff, but it's not returning the scores at all.
But it could be. I mean, maybe we sort by the scores, but we don't return it. I mean, it's I believe we could have this error easily. So
it could be I'm missing something, but I would love, if you could like get it working and maybe send an example, or we can have like a 1-1 if that's okay with you or something.
Well, but I think if you say that reproducing this doesn't return I think we can, if we can reproduce, as long as we can reproduce, it should be easy for us to take care of it.
Yeah, it was returning the score like a few versions ago. So
yeah,
something could have fallen through the cracks.
If we don't manage to reproduce, we will try to come to you so that you can show.
Okay,
You're in
thank
the
you.
community Slack, I guess.
Yep, I think so.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last sentence.
That if we cannot manage to find a way to reproduce, we might ask you to do some pairing so that we can see it live.
Sure. Yeah, would love to. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Yaniv. Am I saying your name right? Yaniv?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
I'm going to be butchering other names much worse than others in this call, sure. Oh, cool. Sung-Soo is here. Hey, good to see you.
Hi, good to see you. Yeah, I just delivered my question. It was a little bit, to be honest, a little bit long ago. Yeah, I read it on fashion MNIST dataset. Is it possible to add additional closest images on this repository, or what would happen if you just delete some clauses on fashion MNIST dataset? Yeah, because there are multiple Zalando clauses on here. So I mean, I just want to test putting my own clauses on here. Is it possible for manipulation like that, or just limited on the Zalando set that has already installed?
I guess you could, and this isn't strictly a Jina question, but you could fork the data set, create your own fork, and then do what you like with it. You'd want to be sure the images are in the same format. So the same size in pixels and in grayscale as well. But yeah, I think those are the only key requirements. Well, same file format.
Okay.
But yeah, with like Docker Array, you have a whole bunch of functions for working with images and normalizing them. So
Okay.
yeah, so in the core repo itself, which, you know, quick plug was created by Han Xiao, our founder and CEO. So that's another of his babies. So I don't, because it's such a standardized data set in the machine learning world, nobody wants to change it at this point. It's too standard. But hey, if you want to fork it, I think it's on GitHub, right?
I would say so.
Yeah, pretty damn sure it's on GitHub. So you can fork it, do what you like on your own fork. That's totally cool.
Okay, thanks. Because I thought only limited data set were allowed for that, but you told me absolutely free data fork set by the users. Okay, thanks.
Would you want to replace just some of the data set or all of it with your own clothes?
I mean, just put some clauses for testing, so I will try later.
But one question is it for testing on the Jina Hello Fashion example, or
Sorry again?
is it about trying the Jina Hello Fashion example? Or?
Yeah. I mean, is it possible to deleting some clauses from the data set, or once the user put the data set, is it not possible for deleting it by the users? Only the Jina programmer can delete it? That's my question for that.
So I mean, I don't. So what is happening in the Jina example is the dataset is downloaded locally from, I don't know, S3 or whatever. That S3 you cannot do anything.
Okay, yeah.
And then locally they are encoded in a very rudimentary fashion. But since the images are simple and grayscale and one channel, it kind of works. But
Okay. Yeah.
If you want something more advanced, you can check out the multimodal fashion search that I put together. That uses full color images. And yeah, it's more of a normal search experience where you have a search box, you can type shoes, or you can upload a picture of shoes and find similar shoes. That's using a totally open source data set that I got from Kaggle. And if you, I'm sure someone will share it on the chat. But yeah, if you go to the migrate 3 branch, I'm still testing it, but it works pretty well so far on Jina 3.
Okay, yeah, I think I was a little bit shy on testing something new. Yeah, but anyway, now it's clear. Yeah, thanks for your answer.
No problem. And I should have the fashion multimodal example up and running on the web again soon. So you can play with it. You can see if it fits your needs. And it's completely open. Do what the hell you like with it.
Then looks more great.
I had a question with regards to, there was an example with a Jupyter notebook or Google Colab where you could go through an image, index everything with ResNet 50 model. I was wondering if there was an easy way to use the clip image and clip text encoders in a Jupyter Lab notebook. I didn't find the way to do it easily, but you guys probably know how to do it. If you had just the reference of where we can run the model from, because I didn't see it in the Torch models, so that would be super helpful if we want to, as Joan said a bit earlier, test with Docker Array only interactively. That would be super helpful. When I looked at the stats of performance of Clip versus ResNet, there's a huge difference, so would like to be able to test with it. So if you have any hints on how to do that, that'd be great.
So was it the basic fashion search notebook?
Yeah, it's the one, the 5-minute demo that Jack had a video on. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another of my babies. Well,
Okay.
Jack did the video, I did the notebook. So the purpose of that was just to demonstrate the power of Docker Array in a very simple way. And because PyTorch is something more people are familiar with, I used ImageNet. But yeah, you could easily use Clip or whatever. If I were trying to do something multimodal or cross-modal, I guess you could. I haven't tried doing it in Dockeray. I'm sure it's possible. I haven't even tried using any clip stuff in Dockeray yet. But
if you were just able to point to how to use clip image or clip text encoder in which model precompiled or other we can leverage from where, because I didn't see it as an option from Torch, and
right.
that's my lack of knowledge on how to do so. But if you had just a hint on how to get to that model from Jupyter to compile,
So we don't have it in Jupyter yet, but the fashion multimodal on GitHub, that's the way I've been doing it up until now. So as it stands, as of a few hours ago, I have 3 flows.
But I guess the problem from Vincent is, can we find like a very easy interface for clip model that we can plug and play, as we did in the ResNet?
Yeah, exactly.
For the Docker. Do we know how to do that? Do we know, like, is there an easy interface for clip model?
Currently,
So there's, can I say something?
Yes.
Currently there is George now working on combining both clip text and clip image, because it's too much of an effort configuring your flow, like Alex experienced this, we experienced this.
So we want to wrap so we want to wrap, George is wrapping the clip model as a function. Is this what you are saying?
No, yeah, it's one executor, and then you can also use this one executor with document array, right?
Yeah.
Like mapping all your documents, either it's text or it's image, or maybe in the future it's even other data formats, and then giving everything in, and everything gets the encoding and done, right? It's like
So
the
one
idea
embedding,
behind.
that combines image and text in one flow.
Yeah, and if something has an embedding already, then just forwards, and if it doesn't have, the embedding is added. You can determine then the quality, like based on the Clip recently, they released their large model, which we appreciate a lot. So it's extremely slow, but gives astounding good results. And then they have also a mid-size model, and then based on your computation available and based on the quality needs you have, you can choose certain quality, and it's combined in one. It's not requiring anymore this flow setup after George is done, and I think you can merge this even today or maybe tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear. So then, with that model, would I be able to access the compiled model directly from a Jupyter notebook to be able to test live, as opposed to going through the Jina flows?
Well, you can try this, and maybe we fail to document it properly. Maybe we think to document, but you can try to locally do an executor from hub. I will note it to add it to documentation or to check if it's well documented. You can do executor from hub, and you can enjoy this class locally.
Oh, directly from a notebook, you mean? So I could run the executor directly from a notebook.
Yeah, as a Python class, and you could call its search and index method as a Python object.
Okay.
Passing document arrays without all these network things that Jina provides.
Okay, got it.
Okay, I will note it as a to-do list for better documenting this.
Good stuff. Okay.
So yeah, in the next days will show up in the hub as another public executor. I think it's just called an executor clip encoder, not clip image, not clip text, but there's a clip encoder which combines both of these.
So if you're feeding images into clip encoder, it'll use behind the scenes, it'll use clip image encoder, and same with text.
Yes, that's the
Nice.
plan. Yeah.
That makes my fashion search example so much easier to deal with.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the other thing is if you want to use Docker Array, this package, and then want to use it in Jupyter Notebook for quick test, then you don't want to. So because you can use you can use any model in Docker Array, right? So not only just you know the PyTorch model. So I just because you know while you are talking, so let me share my screen. So I was just Google clip model and then found out, okay, so there is a pre-trained clip model from transformers, from Hugging Face, and then so here it provides an example where you can input all the things are like I just copy paste the code, so I don't know what the output is. Okay, so here is the output, right? So here's the output. So the problem with this output is that what I can see is that it seems it contains the text embedding, image embedding, this kind of things, right? And also it accepts the text and the images like this.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that okay, so if I just for example, the image here is, what is this image object is about? Okay, it's a cat. Okay, so and what is this type? What is type of this? Okay, it's from Pillow. Okay, so what I want to achieve, or what I guess you want to somehow achieve is have an interface like this, an image like yeah. So okay, so basically to put the content into the document and then do the document .embed, right? .embed with this clip model, right?
Yeah,
Something
exactly.
like that. Okay, yeah. Okay, I will think about it. So I think it's not so difficult to do that, but I have to check the interface from both sides to understand, what do we need to change on the API level. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at least having the reference of where the pre-trained model is going to help me as well. So thanks for that. Another question, I tried with the multi-model fashion search example, which runs multiple Docker containers with Docker Compose, and although there's some pre-existing dependencies that you can configure in Docker Compose, the reliability or resiliency of the different containers loading up and depending on each other, it recovers. But I was just trying to extrapolate this. What if I have 10 nodes of each type? It's going to be a mess, I think. So is there a plan to have an internal resiliency that will retry, and how is it working today? And is there a plan to improve on that in the future?
Just as a quick note, I think that was one of the first Docker Compose files I ever wrote. So yeah, don't expect miracles there.
Yeah, but that's fine, Alex. It's just that even if you have the dependencies right in Docker Compose, it's going to load the images, the containers in the right order. But if inside of your application, you're depending on things that are loaded but not ready, it's going to throw up errors all the time. So is there a mechanism native to the Jina or orchestrator of the different components that will check for, is it ready to load? Is it ready to take requests instead of just running and executing?
No, not when the Docker Compose, but we might think, so the point is we don't want to over-engineer on that, because we don't want, so when we need all these orchestration services at a serious level for production, we were thinking that Kubernetes is the best Docker orchestrator, but we can think about improving on how we set the readiness checks and the liveness
Exactly.
checks of Docker images. This is something that has been in our minds for a while, but we didn't get time. But if it's something that you suffer, we can put more priority into this, because
I just noticed it. I work a lot with .NET Core, for instance, and whether it's Kubernetes or with Docker Compose, the readiness of the services has the right checks so that you don't call, if you call something that's not ready, it's going to wait and retry later. So there is a mechanism that protects the different nodes from doing the wrong calls or not being ready. So if you have some time to think about that, I think it's going to be helpful.
So in Kubernetes, we have it, but because we do the readiness check and so we set the readiness check at Kubernetes YAML level. But for Docker Compose, I think that what you would need to do is in our Jina image, define exactly the health check. And this is something that we didn't do. We would like to learn actually how we should do it. So it would be very useful for us if you could write an issue on our repo describing what is, for instance, your setup and why you suffer from that. That would be really helpful.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Jina repo, right?
In the Jina
Cool.
repo.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions from anyone? The floor is open.
Yes, Alex. Go through the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not seeing.
Any particular use case which Jina is?
The last one we see is there are some still good first issues. Is this the one? Yeah.
So we're working on a new list of good first issues, like right now. We'll have those up in a day or two. A lot of the core Jina projects, like Jina, Docker Array, Fine Tuner, even many of the executors are quite complex. So the new good first issues are more related to things around Jina. Like we really want some cool examples. We want some front ends. Certainly there will be some good first issues for core and the other projects, but most of them will be around the projects, not in the projects. But stay tuned to our Slack. We should have something to announce by the end of the week. And some of them are actually being claimed by our community members, even though we haven't published this yet. So I think they're spying on me. Okay, we've got some others with executor hubs. Any good resource to learn more about them? Not able to work with them though. I am curious. Also, if I'm a Windows user, would Ubuntu be preferable or Docker? Because I face issues with crashing. Okay, that came from somewhere. So, I've just lost it. So that's with Jina Hub. So good resources to learn about executors. I'd say our docs are a great place to start, docs.jina.ai. There's a whole chapter on executors, how to build them.
But then for specific executors, you should go to the specific executor because the executor is really a big interface to give power to the user. So it's an interface where we trying to keep our hands out so people can have their imagination free and do any process on document arrays. So we don't limit anywhere there.
Maybe another little tip for that, since the migration to Jina 3 is very recent, some executors are on 3, some aren't, and the versions might be misleading. So you might end up wondering why you're getting errors. It's just because you might be on 2.6 versus 3. I don't know if a tagging mechanism on the executors saying for which Jina version it's actually working for each executor, because otherwise you need to troubleshoot inside each of them. I've been through this last week, and you have to actually download all the code and figure out why it's not working somewhere. So it could be handy to just tag the executor version with the supported Jina versions.
In my case, when I'm on Hub, I go to the tags and I look at when it was last updated. And if it was like a few months ago, it's like, probably not going to work.
But yeah, we have to.
A more robust mechanism would.
But you work at Jina.
Yeah, no,
A new user won't. So.
We have to do this, yeah.
Mm.
So it's a complex vision on handling this versioning issue is a little bit the egg and I don't know, egg and chicken is something agriculture understands this reference.
Chicken and egg.
Chicken and egg
Every culture
problem.
has chickens and eggs.
Chicken and egg problem of who depends on who might be a little bit of a mess, but yeah, we have to rethink this process for sure.
Perfect.
Hey, we've got some new messages coming in. So we answered Sangsu, we answered that one from Sophia. First issues. Codex peeps are going to make some good first issues. Oh yes, wait till the repo is up, like I said, in the next few days. And you can put all your good first issues there. And we'll write like templates for how to write a good issue, all of that stuff. Open source newbie, Mentee Coders Cafe. Oh, okay, we just did that one. Okay, I think we've answered most of the ones from the chat so far. Does anyone else have questions they want to ask live? Up to 30 people now, nice. Or if you want to say hello, have a drink with the Jina folks, a beverage of your choice, that's part of the event. If people are shy, I'm going to start calling you out by name. Like the worst teacher you ever had. I'm going to butcher so many names today. Hey, Harsh, do you want to say hello? We've seen you around quite a bit, but I don't think we've seen your face or heard your voice. At least not for a while.
Talked with Harsh a couple of minutes ago when we joined the room Zoom.
Oh, okay. Harsh is harshing on us. Jessica, you want to say hi?
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica. I'm a Jina enthusiast. I've also been around a little bit. Nice to meet you guys.
Good to see you. Harsh, you just turned your camera on and then off again. Oh, hey, you out and about?
Yes. Hi, John.
Cool.
So where are you from?
So that's two here.
Two of us,
Yeah, yeah.
New Zealand.
Both of you. Both of you.
Well,
I'm from
both of you.
Spain.
Yeah.
Okay. And
We're
you?
right now in Barcelona.
Okay, great. Yeah, nice.
Cool. Anyone else want to say hello? Shreya, you can pronounce Indian names better than I can.
Which name? Oh, okay. I get to pick. Oh my God, I'm in charge. Wait.
You need to pick, yes. Don't let the
Who am I
power
gonna-
lose your head.
Oh no. Vasudha. Hi. How's it going?
Hi, it's going fine. How are you?
I'm well.
Welcome to the call. Can you tell us a bit about yourself? What brings you here?
I am a mentee under Codex Cafe, open source mentee. I have just stepped into the open source world. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Perfect. It's great to have Codex Cafe people here. Do you want to raise your hand or say something in the chat if you're also from Codex Cafe? Anyone else?
Yeah, there are so many people, but I guess they're shy right now.
I have a fun game for people, but we'll need to like go to the options and like enable all those people. Wait. So the game is basically that we have to react or we have to put a reaction in the chat. You can see all these reactions on this thing, and the goal of the game is to get the same reaction from everybody. So like you basically you see your reactions You have to pick one reaction. Like Florian has just picked a thumbs up, and I have picked a party confetti thing. And basically, we have to get everybody to pick the same sort of reaction at the
Okay.
count of 3.
One thing for me, Zoom on Linux does not support emojis well.
No, I'm not an emoji guy, so I've never sent them.
He's very,
Yeah,
very stubborn.
that's no, not acceptable, you know. You can make it with a face. You can make an emoji with a face.
Yeah, you can do that.
We have the glasses.
Oh, we have the glasses. We can pick some appropriate attire.
Up next, based on past reactions, can Gina predict what you'll react with next? Find out in the next episode of Office Hours.
Yeah, we've got lots of cool things, but not exactly reactions.
Okay, those will work. But we have to do this at the count of 3. So is everybody ready?
Well, hang on.
Okay, I'll just
What about
assume.
the other ones?
Okay. Alex is not ready. We'll wait for Alex.
We have to do it on 3.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Whoa.
well, everyone turn on your cameras or put it in the chat. All right, everybody. I don't know how this works. I'm putting a lot of faith in Shreya here.
Okay.
1, 2,
2, 3. Oh, we have very different reactions, but we have 3 people giving, 4 people giving high reactions. We have 3 confetti ones and 2 surprise faces. Not bad, yeah.
Bad. Which
I
was
like Florian and Joanne's.
Yeah, those, they win anything and everything, but yeah. Okay, we'll do one more round so that we beat our past score. Okay, at the count of 3, everybody.
Well, hang on. I
1.
need to find a reaction. So many things to choose. Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, interesting. So we have
You're very
7
consistent. Very emotionally stable.
7 surprise faces and 2. No, they're disappearing. I lost count. 3rd time's the charm. Let's do it again.
Oh my God, we'll be here all night.
Okay. Alex, are you ready?
I'm running out of things. Okay. Last time,
Okay.
everybody. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, snap.
Yay! Now nobody's similar. Woohoo!
Cool. All right. Good games. Any other questions while we're here? Damn, we're down to 27. Shreya, your game's lost us 10% of the people.
Oh no. What have I become? Suffering from success.
All right. I guess there are no other questions. If there are, leave them in the chat in the next few seconds and we'll answer them now, or put them in our Slack. Our support section is a good place to do that. And yeah, what else? We've got plenty of other events coming up. If you're not on our meetup page, Google Jina meetup and join. You'll be alerted there about our engineering all hands, Jina and Tonic events if you're in Europe. And hey, if anyone wants to organize like a Jina and Tonic meetup anywhere else, let us know because we want to hear about that. We want to help you.
Hey, Alex, I think Vijay is asking a question in the chat.
Oh, 16. Why didn't it show up? Someone makes a blog video. Show it to us. We'll probably have some feedback. We often do. But yeah, if it's suitable, we'll definitely feature it. We'll get it out there on socials, get it onto our Slack, all of that. Nice. We always love to see those, by the way.
Quick
and
question.
there's swag as well.
do you intend? So I saw the Jina client for REST and gRPC. It's in Python. Do you intend to build clients for other languages like .NET or?
It's something that it's in our roadmap somehow, but it's not like the biggest priority. But
For sure.
yeah, it's something. But it's something that even as a community, since it's if you check our protobuf definition, actually for HTTP might be a little bit harder, but for protobuf, as long as you build a protobuf, it's something that it would be rather simple. It's an overestimation, but it's something doable actually.
So that's for gRPC, you mean?
Yeah, but or for HTTP is about if you take Docker Array and you check the fast API model and you are based on that, that would also work, for instance.
Okay. It's just from experience, the moment you have an API client in the native language, it just like helps skyrocket adoption.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, I'm just not saying I expect everybody to work on.
But if you do start working on a .NET 1 at some point, more than happy to guinea pig the test bed for it. So
okay,
great. As I said, we'll be putting up the Good First Issues repo pretty soon. So you could drop an issue there. It might be a little complex through Good First Issue, but yeah, we need to put it somewhere. So that'll do.
Cool.
And we can hopefully get some community members hacking away on it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Any more for any more? All right. Well, we will definitely be doing this again. If you have any other party games or not that you would like to suggest, do let us know on Slack. And yeah, have a great evening, morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are. All the best. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.